of the proceeds raised will provide local children and teens we serve with the magic of the holiday season. Tune in on November 23rd from 6 to 11 a.m.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
Good morning.
Live and local, daily, from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is ON AM and FM.
WOON, Woonsocket.
ON AM and FM's regular Saturday morning program will not be heard this week in order that we bring you the following special presentation. It's the annual Community Care Alliance Holiday for Kids Radiothon. And now, here's Wendy Pires.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us for our 5th annual Holiday for Kids Radiothon. We are so excited to be here. It is bright and early. I have my coffee. I hope you have your coffee too. We are going to get right into it. We have a jam-packed show today. We are going to be on from 6 a.m. right now until 11 a.m. We have lots of guests. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But first, let's just talk about why we're here and what's our goal. So again, this is our 5th annual Holiday for Kids Radiothon. And we want to have you help us give the magic of the holidays by donating to our Holiday for Kids campaign. Your generosity brings joy to a child or teen who is not expecting much, if anything. Parents offering gifts to their children is the essence of the season, and that is going to be something we're going to continue to say all morning long. We really want you to get into the giving spirit and help us make an impact this holiday season for children and teens, because we don't want to forget those, the older kids too. What will your donation do? Well, last year, the Holiday for Kids Radiothon raised over $5,000, and with the help of the campaign in general, so the Holiday for Kids campaign, where we also collect outside of the Radiothon and outside businesses, we were able to provide over 600 kids. I want to make sure you're hearing that number because it's a large one and it's a big one, and we're so proud of it. 600 kids were able to be helped of our clients' families. We were able to provide gifts for their children during the holidays. And again, we're just looking to provide 1 or 2 gifts for each kid. We cannot provide, more than that. So we're not asking for anything outside of $50. $50 is what gets us those gifts for those kids. So 600 kids was quite a feat last year, and we're hoping to match or to surpass that this year. So you can help us do that. So here you are. I hope you're in for the long haul, because again, we're going to be on from 6 to 11 a.m. this morning, but the show's going to change. So don't think it's going to be the same thing over and over. It's not. We have guests coming on. I'm going to talk to you about them right now. So starting at 7 a.m., we have 2 of our long cherished board members that are going to be joining us. We have Nancy Benoit and Carol Wilson-Allen, who are going to be right here live in the studio. They are actually currently helping me out, helping Community Care Alliance out by answering the phone. So if you are feeling already in the spirit of giving, we are ready to take those calls at 766-1240, and they are ready to answer those calls and take those donations right over the phone. So they're going to be in the background, but at 7 a.m. they're going to be live here in the studio, and they're going to talk about their work. They're going to talk about Community Care Alliance, and they're really going to talk about what they've seen over the last many years that we've been doing this and the impact that that's had on the community. They both are so involved in their community, and they both are so involved in their churches, and they see the impact in their families. And so they're going to talk a little bit about that. So don't miss that at 7 a.m. And then at 7:30 a.m., I got to get my schedule. So if you're seeing me lean over, that's what I'm doing. So at 7:30 a.m., we have Fran Perry, who is with our Northern Rhode Island Visitation Center. And she's going to come on, and she's also going to talk about a little bit about our programming, but a lot about the impact that they're seeing, again, We have lots of impact happening today, lots of stories, and she's going to share some of the stories from last year and the things that, the parents and just in general, like the impact that it had. Again, I'm going to continue to say that word throughout the whole morning. And then at 8 a.m., we have Anna Urena, and she's from our Healthy Families America program. And then at 8:30 a.m., we have Julie Salone, who is part of our Woonsocket homeless shelter. And we have stories to share, actual client stories to share during that programming, so you don't want to miss that. At 9 a.m., we have a trio. We have Stephanie, Crystal, and Emma. So Stephanie Amparo and Crystal Stevens and Emma they are all going to be on, Emma Dandy, sorry about that. They are going to be on all together, and they also have stories to share and client stories. And then at 9:30, we have Donna Vare Hamilton, who is part of our Children's Intensive and Outpatient Services, and she's going to be on, and we have multiple stories also at that time. And then at 10 a.m., we have a big group from the youth center. We have two staff. We have Stump Evans and Janelle Alacia Cologne, and we have 3 teens that are going to be joining us live in the studio, so you don't want to miss that. So like I said, guys, every hour is going to be different. Every half hour is going to be different. We've got a lot of programming this morning, and we hope that you're here for the all. You're here for the whole because we have a lot of different people and a lot of different stories, but we have a lot of time for you to call in from 6 to 11 a.m. You can call in and you can call in and just make a donation. You can call in and request a holiday song. We have that happening. For a minimum of $10, you can have one holiday song request that we're going to play live in the studio during the programming at some point. We have tons of breaks where we'll be playing music, so we hope that you are tuning in for that because we just have a lot of holiday spirit and a lot of holiday joy, and we want to share that with you, and we hope that you want to share that with us as well. So again, if you're feeling the itch to call in, 766-1240 is the number to do so. So let's get right to it. So again, 766-1240 gets you to make a donation, or it gets you to have a song request. Both of those are donations. One is that you get to have a song request played live on the studio. The other is that you get to make a donation, and every $50 helps one child receive a Christmas gift this season. So go ahead and do that. So we want to hear your favorite holiday cheer, and it's all for a great cause. While you're calling in to hear your favorite holiday song, you are also supporting a child in need. It's a win-win, guys. So make sure to do that. 766-1240. And then we have some ads. So we have a lot of beautiful businesses that were able to donate to us ahead of time, and we want to be able to recognize them. So we will have some breaks where we're going to have commercial ads come on. We want to just really quickly thank those businesses that have already stepped up to the plate and made a donation to the Holiday for Kids campaign. Integrated Healthcare Partners, Cameron and Middleman, Rogers Tires, FCCP. Those are some of the businesses that stepped up. And then we have our big premier sponsors that we also want to shout out to: Mutual of America, Provider Group, and Bank RI. And they're not the only ones that have also stepped up. We've had a numerous amount of businesses that have actually adopted children and taken their wishes and already have taken care of that. And we have 200 kids that already have wishes met this holiday season. It is no small feat, and we really want to thank these businesses that have already stepped up to the plate to help the kids in need this holiday season. Moo, Amica, Siljan, Troop 1 Greenville, Salvation Army, Bank RI, First Assembly of God, CSL Plasma, Carmen Castellanos and her family, and Circle Loria. Thank you to all of you who have already made an impact this holiday season. Because of your generosity, we know that over 200 kids are already taken care of. So we just got a little bit more to get to, guys. So we need you to call in and make that donation. Again, it's 766-1240. If you don't know the number, that's it. And we've got volunteers ready to take your call. So let's talk a little bit about who's going to be helped. So I know when you think about the holidays and you think about the magic and the Christmas, sometimes your mind goes to the little ones, and the little ones who come down the stairs and see the bright lights and the presents under the tree. And it's so amazing. And I know you're thinking about your kids and you're thinking about what that may have looked like when they were younger. I also don't want you to forget, though, that sometimes they're a little bit bigger when they come down those stairs, and sometimes they're 13, 14, 15, and they're still kids, and they still, we still want to make sure that they get that Christmas magic as well. So we don't want to forget our teens this holiday season. We want to make sure that we are remembering that they also are impacted and that they also need help this holiday season. When I put out requests for teens, I get a mixed sort of review. People are sort of really okay with that, and they're sort of great. And then we have some people that, don't really think about the teens. They think more about the younger kids. And they think about, well, if they're old enough to have a job, then maybe they can provide a gift for themselves. But we don't want them to do that, because a lot of our teens are in positions where they're working to help their household. They're working, their pay goes sometimes towards the rent or towards groceries, and that's just the world we're living in. And we want to be able to make sure that when they come down those stairs, that they too have something under that tree. And their gifts, their wishes are not Xboxes and PlayStations like you're maybe thinking. Their wishes are blankets and silly things, because they're teens, and it's journals and books to read and fart machines and lava lamps and makeup and nails and, all the things that they can't really afford to get for themselves, because all of their thought goes towards their siblings as well. So we want to make sure that they also are feeling appreciated, and they also are feeling the celebratoriness of the holiday. So we don't want to forget them. So just a reminder of how important our teens are, because they are our next generation. They are the upcoming leaders. We want to play you a couple stories that I did. I did some interviews last week with some teens at our youth center. Amazing young men. Actually, I interviewed 3 young men, and I want to be able to play those stories for you. So here's our first one. It's Max. Listen in right here.
Hey, I'm here with Max at the Harbor Youth Center. Hey, Max, could you tell me a little bit about the Harbor Youth Center?
Yeah, so here they have a lot of opportunities that are possible here. It's a generally good hangout place for teenagers. I believe it's 13 to 26 they allow people to sign in. They have a food bank here. The staff here is really nice. Through here, you can get a lot of opportunities. They do such as GED training. They have a paid program, and community care in general is a great organization.
Great. So what do you participate in any of the programming? Are you part of the GED or the paid program?
Yeah, I'm in the paid program, and I'm in the GED program, and both have been great. The teachers are amazing. The paid program, the counselors there have been phenomenal. They also work in the Harbor Youth Center, and they're doing great things for me. I don't believe I would have been able to make the strides and pushes that they have been able to help me make, finding work or finding a schooling program that helps for my needs.
Great. So since being here, do you have goals or dreams for yourself you didn't have before?
It's mostly for me has just been catching up, because I missed a lot of, necessary schooling. Mm-hmm. So just being able to be here and catch up and really feel like that I'm gaining the skills to be an adult rather than going into it all completely blind has just been great.
Great. So you're taking small steps.
Small steps.
Great.
Hopefully to start making big steps.
Great. And what are the big steps? Do you have big goals for yourself?
I'd like to do a lot of creative stuff. I make music as a hobby. I draw as a hobby. I'm getting into game development pretty heavily. So.
Great. So you got big things on the horizon.
Yep.
Great. Is there anything else about the youth center that we missed that you'd want to mention to our listeners?
I think that it'd just be great to check out in general. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that I missed that is great to have and learn about. They have tons of classes, tons of opportunities here. It's not something to just pass up.
Hey, this is Wendy, and I am here with Joey. Joe, could you tell me a little bit about the Harbor Youth Center and how you became part of it?
I actually became a part of the Harbor Youth Center through my aunt, Madeline Silva. She works for CCA, and I had just moved here from Florida. And prior to me joining the program and living with my aunt, I was homeless. And she put me here for one, to give me something to do throughout the day, and to further my education, as well as basically create a way for me to be able to further my future, because I didn't have that prior. So when I first got here, I joined paid, but most of the time I would just be here in the center, spending time getting to know people. And then I joined the paid program, and the paid program it's been the biggest help. I'm the first one to get an internship. I'm the first one to start working, and just right up the street from where I live, so it's so convenient. And they've been helping me out plenty. The GED program is swell as well. Daniel's a really great teacher. Chris can be a little boring, but how isn't any teacher? But otherwise, they're both really, really good when it comes to teaching.
Great. So you joined the paid program. Could you tell us a little bit about what is the paid program?
Paid program is basically a program for you to, it's basically like getting an education on how to get a job, maintain a job, and keep a job, as well as by the time we're done with class, right, class is only 5 weeks total. So we have class, we'd go, we'd, figure out how to make a resume, our cover letters, everything. And then over time, we were choosing out the careers in which we wanted to pursue. I personally, I'm pursuing culinary. I want to be a cook. I want to be a sous chef. I want to work in the kitchen. So that's what I went for. I'm working at K's currently.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's been lovely. Today was my second day, and oh my goodness.
At K's?
Yeah,
Awesome.
It was really fun up until I was filling like Caesar salad dressing into the bottles, and there was just a chunk of vegetables, and I squeezed it, and it squirted all over me. It was terrible.
But you're having a great job pursuing a field that you're very interested in. So not only
Absolutely.
were you part of the paid program, but now you have a job in a restaurant.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been, like, for me, I was going through a lot prior to all of this, so, like, I've been dumbfounded. Just the fact that I've been able to get into a position where I'm finally, for myself, I'm doing all right, but I am now also in a position where I can help others. I can help my friends. I, constantly am telling one of my closest friends, come here. Like,
Awesome.
just come here. Like, my best friend has a kid, So it's like, there's plenty of ways for them to help without even, making it seem a certain way.
Great. So now you're pursuing your GED.
Yes,
And what's your next step after you get your GED?
After my GED, I'll be going into cooking school. We're still working that out, me and Gio and Natasha. First, I have to get my ServSafe, so we've been looking up how do I get that so I can be, certified to work with all kinds of food and everything. But yeah, cooking school will be the main priority. I want to also do bartending, like hospitality as a whole.
Okay.
So cooking and bartending. Bartending is like
Well, that's a good way to make some money while you're going to school.
absolutely.
Great. So it sounds like you have a big plan for yourself. Congrats on that.
Thank you so much.
So is there anything that you'd want our listeners to know that you haven't mentioned about the youth center?
That I haven't mentioned, you should totally come in. Just come in to stop by and, see the people and see what we're up to because, we could be rowdy. Absolutely. We could be so rowdy. But at the same time, it's all love here. And I mean that genuinely. Coming from someone who doesn't have much of that, like, in his life, there's a lot of love here. And the people who really do the absolute best to make sure you get what it is you need.
And that was Joe's story. I was really moved when I was talking to Joe. This young man who is, he's not going to, he's over 18, as you can tell, because he, is part of the paid program, and he is pursuing his next step. So he is 18 or 19 years old, but he was homeless. And he didn't have much on the horizon for himself. And he was able to find a family member that was willing to take a chance on him. And now he's making something of himself, and he's pursuing culinary. And you could hear the passion in his voice when he talked about the culinary program and about the youth center. And this is just one of the young people that we serve that are impacted by our services. And so we want you to remember that we have a lot of services at Community Care Alliance, and they really are making a difference for our young people and our adults. And although we're here for the purpose of being able to provide Christmas this holiday season, we want to also be able to share our stories with you and share of the clients who that we make a big impact to along the way, so that you can get a little bit of feeling for who Community Care Alliance is. And Joey is just a representation of what we were able to provide, and then what he was then able to take and do something with. So we're super proud of Joey. Our last interview to share with you this morning before we do a little break is Hayden. Hayden is also a really lovely young man who I believe is going to be live on the air at 10 a.m. this morning. So if you really like what you have to hear, please make sure that you follow back again at 10 a.m. or follow all the way through to 11 a.m., which is what the Radioathon is going through. But let's hear from Hayden.
Hey, I'm here with Hayden at the Harbor Youth Center. Hayden, tell me a little bit about how you became connected to the Harbor Youth Center.
The Harbor Youth Center, at first, I came here because I was with a girl, but then, slowly, like, over time, I built a connection with the staff members, and to be honest, they're actually pretty great here, and the youth center brings a lot of joy to me, because, normally I don't really do anything outside of school. I just go home and then play my Xbox. I never really, went outside, but as I started coming here more, I realized, more of the staff member, because a lot of adults say they're there for you. They're not actually there for you, but, they're able to, see, when there's something on my face or, if I'm in a bad mood, if I'm angry, they're able to see it, and they try and help me out. Now, sometimes I don't cooperate and I don't speak back, but it's still appreciated whatever they do, because it really makes me feel like I can come here and I can actually get the help that they, say they provide. I remember Gio. There was this one time, a boy, I saw him, me and him had problems. We were going to get into a fight, but then Gio was able to, calm me down and de-escalate me. And it felt actually pretty great knowing that an adult was able to do that. Because normally, if I'm angry, I'm ready to fight. No one stopped me, but Gio was able to talk me out of it, give me a piece of gum. And it was actually really nice.
Have you found since becoming part of the youth center that your aggression or that sort of part of you has lessened in your life?
Yeah, I've actually gotten into a lot less more fights since coming to the youth center. I used to be outside after school since I had nothing to do. I used to just be slap boxing, fighting. And then since I started coming to the youth center, I've learned to control myself in spaces where I should. I learned in school I shouldn't give attitude to people I don't like. I should keep it silent if I don't like them. Just make it apparent, but don't make it too apparent. Don't make it a problem. I shouldn't fight in school. I shouldn't fight in the youth center. I shouldn't fight in stores. I shouldn't fight at all, is what they're trying to suggest to me. But in the end of the day, they do end up saying it is my decision. They can only influence me, and they do a pretty good job at it. I haven't gotten into a fight in over 6 months now, so I think they're doing a really good job at doing what they're doing.
And you're doing a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So props to you for following the sort of what the lessons that they're teaching and the guidance that they're giving, but you're the one that in the end is making that decision.
Yeah, but I still will always thank them because they did lead me into a better light. But yeah, it is on me because, as much advice as people give, it's up to you and then the day to take it and put it to good use. And it was really nice,
That's great. Do you have goals for yourself? What is your future plans?
My future plans is I don't plan on going to college after high school. I plan on going to a trade school. I want to go to a trade school for plumbing because I started looking into the plumbing field and I found that is what I want to do. I do want to be a gamer, but I want to have that plan to be a plumber first and then game just in case the gaming doesn't go planned. So I need to make sure I have steps to it just to make sure, I don't go to college or a trade school. I go gaming and it fails. And now I'm left as an adult with no money.
Right. So you have a plan and then a backup plan.
Yep.
That's a great plan. That's a great plan.
Thank you.
So our listeners don't really know much about the youth center. Is there anything else that you want to tell them about the youth center?
Like I said before, the youth center provides great services when it comes to emotions and stuff. They will do daily check-ins with you. They normally do every 3 months. They do these check-ins where it's they'll ask how your drug use has been. It's confidential, by the way, too, so they don't release it to anywhere. It stays between you and them, which is something I found hard to believe at first, but then over time, I grew to trust them, and they did keep it confidential, so I appreciate them for that. It's also a good place to come after school. They're open really early in the morning. I don't know the exact time, but it's fairly early. And then all the way till 5 is when they close. They have games here. They have a TV that you can watch movies, YouTube on. There's been multiple times we've all just gathered up in the main room, sat down, watched a movie. They have an outside bench that you can go on. Upstairs, that's where the kitchen is. They have food that you can eat there, or if you want to bring your own food, that's where you go up to eat. They have multiple couches around here where you can just chill, multiple places you can just, go outside, you can run around. They're not really strict, but they have their rules. So it's a really good place to come if you're it doesn't really matter how young or old you are, you can always come, chill, have a fun time.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
No problem.
And that was Hayden. Hayden would be impacted by a donation if you were to call in 766-1240. Wonderful young man. He was so respectful during our interview, and he's really thought about his life. He was he used to get into a lot of trouble, and he was able to get control of that and to work with the staff and figure out, where he needed the help, and he was able to really tap into the resources at the youth center. Again, just a wonderful example of what our Harbor Youth Center provides for young kids today. So again, if you are just listening in, this is the 5th annual Holiday for Kids Radiothon, and I'm Wendy Pyrus, your host, and we are going to be here until 11 a.m., and we are going to play holiday music, and we're going to have guests in the studio. We have a jam-packed morning for you. We're going to be on until 11 a.m., and we are looking to help as many kids this holiday season as possible. Every $50 gets a kid a Christmas gift. We have lots of opportunities for you to donate. You can call in and donate the $50, donate $10, donate $5, whatever you're able to do. Every amount adds up, and we're grateful for anything. If you call in and you want to go ahead and request a holiday song, we have lots of times this morning that we're going to be playing in your requests, so you can go ahead and call in at 766-1240. We're here for that. And we would just like to take a small minute and thank our sponsors who have already helped impact over 200 kids. So let's go ahead and hear from them.
Rogers Tires wants to thank its customers for 62 years of business. We look forward to many more years of serving our community. Have a safe and happy holiday season from our family to yours.
Bank Rhode Island is proud to support Community Care Alliance's Radiothon. Learn more about Bank RI and the communities they serve by visiting bankri.com. Bank RI, strong and trusted. Member FDIC.
Don't fall
Equal
behind on
Housing
your
Lender.
mental health needs this holiday season. As your local CCBHC, Community Care Alliance is here to help the whole family with mental and behavioral health. Call us now, 401-235-7121.
And welcome back to our 5th annual Holiday for Kids Radiothon. We just wanted to take a quick commercial break and thank some of our sponsors who have already helped us. It's time to get into the holiday spirit. We're ready for it. Are you ready for it? We want to go ahead and